Welcome. Today we'll be learning how to make FoodRight's sweet potato hash. I'll start with a brief overview of knife skills, then we'll go through the equipment and ingredients you'll need, and then we'll start making the recipe where you'll get a more thorough lesson on knife skills and how to measure. This is a chef's knife. It's the only knife you really need. Other knives can be helpful for things, but this can really kind of do everything. The way you hold a chef's knife is called the pinch grip. You take your dominant hand, whatever hand you write with, your pointer finger and thumb pinch the blade, and then your other three fingers wrap around the handle. Your other hand, whatever is holding, whatever you're cutting, does what we call the bear claw. So your fingertips are curled under, that protects them. You wanna make sure that your knuckle, your first knuckle, is in front of those fingertips so that stops the knife from cutting any of your fingertips off. There are three ways to cut things. The first one is the chop. This is the most common way that you're gonna cut things. To do that, you use the heel of the blade to do the cutting. That's this back part back here. And the motion is down and forward, down and forward. Another way that you can cut things is called the slice. You use that usually if you need a really sharp point or if you want to cut things into like long strips. To do that, you use the very tip, the very point of the knife, and you push down and pull back towards yourself. And then the final way is when you want to mince something, which means to cut things into teeny tiny little pieces. It's very similar to the chop. It's called the rock chop. And to do that, you either pinch the spine, that's this top part up here, or you put your hand flat on top of it. The tip of your knife stays anchored on the cutting board, and then this heel of the knife, the back part, is also what does the cutting, just like with the chop. So your hand I like to put my hand flat on top, and then you just rock it back and forth. Usually when you mince something, you want to do your regular chop first to cut it as small as you can, and then you do a mince over that. To make this recipe, you're going to need either a pot or a deep skillet with a lid, oven mitts, a chef's knife, a mixing spoon or spatula to saute, a vegetable peeler, measuring spoons, prep bowls, which are optional. I find that helpful to measure ingredients out in advance. And then a microplane is also optional if you prefer to grate your garlic versus mincing it with a knife. The ingredients you'll need are a carrot, a half of an onion, a clove of garlic, a sweet potato, a red potato, half of a bell pepper, oil. You can use whatever kind you have. We used canola, cayenne pepper, kosher salt, cumin, black pepper, and smoked paprika. We'll start with cutting the onion. We're gonna cut off the root end first. Remember to use your pinch grip when you're holding the knife, and then your bear claw to hold the onion. We're gonna use our chop to cut off the end. Remember, that's down and then forward. We're creating a flat edge for ourselves so we can put this onion flat on the cutting board. Using our chop, we'll cut this onion in half straight through the middle. The stem end facing forward, put your onion flat on the cutting board. We'll use our slice to cut this into thin strips, using the tip of the knife and pushing down while pulling back towards yourself. Start each cut about 1/4 of an inch below the stem. This will help hold the onion together, making it easier to chop once we turn the onion the other direction. When you're holding onto something round or small, sometimes it's helpful to hold it with a bridge over your knife rather than with your bear claw. Notice how the strips are held together by the stem end since we started each slice about 1/4 of an inch down. Turn the onion 90 degrees, then use your chop going down and forward to cut it into cubes. Once you get to the very end, you can turn the onion and chop the last little strip into cubes. Next, we're going to peel our carrot. Make sure you always peel away from yourself instead of up towards yourself. Remember to use your pinch grip to hold the knife and your bear claw to hold the carrot. Using the chop going down and forward, cut off both ends of the carrot. Cut the carrot in half to create more manageable sized pieces. Using your chop, cut a thin strip off of the edge of the carrot to create a flat edge. Put that flat edge flat on the cutting board. This will keep the carrot from rolling around. Then using your chop, cut the carrot into thin strips. Stack the flat carrot pieces, then cut them into thin sticks. Still using your chop going down and forward, cut the carrot sticks into 1/2-inch cubes. Next, peel your sweet potato. Remember your pinch grip and bear claw. Using the chop, cut off the ends of the sweet potato, then cut it in half. This creates more manageable sized pieces to work with. Remember with the chop to use the heel or back part of the blade to do the cutting, as this is the strongest part of the knife and sweet potatoes are very hard. You'll cut a thin slice as you did with the carrot to create another flat edge. That flat edge can then go on the cutting board to secure the potato. Next, cut more thin slices using the chop. Then stack those thin sheets and cut them into strips like a French fry. Turn those sticks and cut them into 1/2-inch cubes. The red potato does not need to be peeled unless there are any bad looking parts. You'll follow the exact same process as you did with the sweet potato and with the carrot to cut the red potato into cubes. Always creating a flat edge for yourself first to put that flat on the cutting board to keep it secure, then cutting it into thin strips, stacking those sheets and then cutting those into French fry shapes, then turning them and cutting them into 1/2-inch cubes. We're only going to use half of the bell pepper. You can cut it in half straight through the stem, then rip out the seeds and pith with your hands. Using either the slice or the chop, cut the pepper into thin strips, then turn them and chop them into 1/2-inch cubes. Next, we are going to mince 1 clove of garlic, which I will first show you how to do with a microplane and then how to do it with a knife. If using a microplane, you will want a whole clove, so don't smash it. Instead, press down on it with your hand to loosen the skin, then peel it off. Then grate the clove using your microplane. If you're using a knife to mince the garlic, turn the knife and put it flat above the clove, then hit the knife to smash it. This will release the oils in the garlic, making it very easy to peel. From there, you will use your chop to cut the clove into tiny cubes, first cutting into thin strips, then turning them to chop into small cubes. From here, you can do a rock chop over the pile until it is minced. Next, we will measure our spices, so you will need a set of measuring spoons. We will start with the cumin. We need 1/4 of a teaspoon. When measuring dry ingredients, you want to scoop a heaping scoopful, then use a flat edge to scrape off the excess. This will give you the precise amount that you need. You'll need 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which you can measure with 2 pinches with your fingers. Then you'll also need 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now we're ready to cook. Turn your stove onto medium to medium-high heat. Then add 3 tablespoons of oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you would like. I am using canola. Start by sauteing your onions for a few minutes until they start to turn translucent. If they start browning or if it starts smoking, turn your heat down to medium. Make sure to keep stirring as it cooks. Then add both kinds of potatoes and cover with a lid. You're going to cook these until they are fork tender, meaning you can easily pierce them with a fork, or for about 15 to 20 minutes. Stir them occasionally and make sure to check them every few minutes. Once the potatoes are tender, add the bell peppers, carrots, and spices. Saute them for another 5 to 7 minutes until the peppers are soft and the carrots are fork tender. Keep the lid off. This will help brown all of the ingredients. Finally, add the garlic and saute another 30 seconds, then take off the heat, taste, and adjust the seasonings to your liking. And voila, you have sweet potato hash. To make it a complete meal, I like to add a fried egg on top. Enjoy!